What's going on, my ASVAB party people? Anderson here, your ASVAB coach, and I'm going to break my neck real quick. That way you can go ahead and see the problem and give it a shot. Tonight we're doing paragraph comprehension, and remember, the entire month of January, every single one of my classes are free. This is a thank you for 2021. 2021 was the year that I wish I would have had 10 years ago in terms of helping other people succeed. And as a thank you for you guys in helping me build this community up, the classes in January are all free. So they're 2 hours long. Click that link right there or go to the link in the description so you can get your free practice test with video solutions and automatic registration. It's every single class in January. And so let's go ahead and get started. First things first with paragraph comprehension, and I'm going to teach you this in class tonight, is that you always want to start by reading the question. There are a ton of different types of problems with paragraph comprehension, and so by reading the question first, you're giving yourself the opportunity to see what kind of problem you're doing. So here it says, what can be inferred according to the passage? What that tells me is that this is an inferencing factual question. So all this means is that the correct answer is simply directly supported in the passage some way, somehow. There's direct evidence, and you need to be able to point out the right answer and make sure that the wrong answers, well, you got to make sure that they're wrong. That's it. There's other types of questions like quote questions, next sentence, sequence of events, tone questions. And so if you want to learn more about those, again, join tonight. So let's go. What can be inferred according to the passage? So with these types of questions, you can really just bounce back and forth between the passage and answers. It's very, very, very easy to do that, and I would definitely recommend that. There are other types where it's not wise to go to the answers first. Others where it's not wise to read the passage first. So again, join tonight if you want to learn more about that, because I got you. So here we go. Passage first. With the whistling tea kettle, you'll always know that the water has begun to boil as soon as you hear it whistle. There is one caveat. Many teas should be brewed in water that is colder than boiling. When water boils, it loses oxygen. That has a negative effect on the flavor of your tea. So if you need to read the passage one more time or skim it one more time, that's fine. Remember that you have 2 minutes per question for paragraph comprehension. So it's a really good idea to go ahead and read it first, really get the context, really get the story of what's going on, and maybe read it one more time if you need to. But what we're going to do now is we're going to read the answer choices, and we're going to go back and see, okay, does the passage support this answer or not? That's what we're going to do now. Let's check it out. So, teas need to be brewed in cold water to have a positive effect on the flavor. Okay, let's see. A positive effect on the flavor. Let's just highlight some of the main points of that answer here. So, brewed in cold water, positive effect on flavor. Where do we see that? Let's see. Water has begun to boil. One caveat, many teas should be brewed in water that's cold. Okay, cool. So there's the evidence right there. Water that is colder than boiling. When water boils, it loses oxygen. Negative effect on the flavor of your tea. Okay, so teas need to be brewed in cold water to have a positive effect on the flavor. When water boils, it loses oxygen. That has a negative effect on the flavor of your tea. So my question is, does something having a negative effect mean that doing the opposite has a positive effect? Teas need to be brewed in cold water. Well, here's the thing. Thing is, it's actually a trick answer because it says colder than boiling and it says brewed in cold water. Is there a difference between brewed in water that's colder than boiling and cold water? Absolutely. Because I can still have water just below boiling, and that's not cold. That'll still burn anybody. And so, no, A is incorrect for the reason again being cold water, no. Colder than boiling. And trust me, we've done this one before in class. It's gotten a lot of people. And so just wanted to make sure that you see again that fine print in there in these answers. B, let's check it out. So, when preparing water for tea, it is best to not let the water reach boiling point. Okay, let's see. Many teas should be brewed in water that is colder than boiling. When water boils, it loses oxygen. That has a negative effect on the flavor of your tea. When preparing water for tea, it is best not to let the water reach boiling point. That is true. That's supported. It absolutely is because, again, when water boils, it loses oxygen, negative effect on the flavor. Best not to let the water reach boiling point. Yes, that is correct. That is supported at least, okay? And to prove to you that C and D are not answers, we're going to go through them, and I'm going to show you exactly why they're incorrect. So here, C. The caveat of a whistling tea kettle is that you have to hear it whistling until you remove it from the burner. Okay, well, with a whistling tea kettle, you'll always know that the water has begun to boil. One caveat, many teas should be brewed in water that's cold. What? The caveat of a whistling tea kettle is that you have to hear it whistling until you remove it from the burner. No, you don't. You can remove it at any time. I mean, there's not really anything stopping us from removing it. You have to hear it until you know it's boiling. You don't have to hear it to remove it from the burner. So no, that's goodbye there. And then D, for best results, do not brew tea while waiting for it to boil. For best results, do not brew tea while waiting for it to boil. It's not supported at all in the passage either. Not supported. The reason being, for best results, you should brew the tea with water that is slightly colder than boiling, slightly cooler than boiling. It's not saying do not brew tea while waiting for it to boil. You're supposed to brew it before it boils. So yeah, I mean, no. And so with that said, my party people, I hope you can appreciate the gesture here. This question, paragraph comprehension, inferencing factual, read the passage after the question, and then go back and forth, answers and passage, to give yourself that best shot. So if you want to join our free classes for the entire month of January, again, go to that link right there, or click the link in the post. That way, you can go ahead and register, get a free practice test, video solutions, and access to our Facebook group and a lot of other neat features to help you continue raising your score. I'm Anderson, your ASVAB coach, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey, thanks for watching. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button up here. That way you can get more great content from us. Or text ASVAB to that number. That way you can join us for a free class and get a free mini course at the same time. And then look forward to the next video. That way you can continue crushing it and raising your score. Anderson, your ASVAB coach here. See you next time.